So if you look into Jamstack ecosystem in more detail, then we can see there are different sort of layers. First layer we can see as a presentation layer. Another one is an API layer, where we can even differentiate those API layers into two parts. One is headless CMS layer and another is utility API layer. Other layer is Git layer, where there are multiple technologies. You can integrate your Git on your Jamstack project. Also, hosting or CDN are also provided by certain multiple companies. In our last example, we have talked about Netlify. There are similar other technologies, or let's say companies, that we can use. For example, CloudFront, Fastly, Firebase, GitHub Pages, GitLab, etc. And finally, your backend code, or let's say your backend system is based upon certain other technologies. You can use this. You can leverage this technologies, or you may just discard if you have your backend. Otherwise, in Jamstack we might just use only up to these layers. If you have your own backend, then you can use these technologies too. So let me just give you a simple highlight on how it's done. First, for example, if you are a React developer, then you may create your components, or you may create your website using React, which is on the JavaScript framework. There are similar other frameworks that you can use, as you can see in the screen: Angular, jQuery, Vue.js, etc. All those technologies can be used in order to create your components, and in order to create the functionality of your application. Static site generator, what it does is that it will just convert your framework code, or let's say your JavaScript code, to a plain HTML based it will convert it into a HTML pages, or let's say a few files are there that will be just these are the files that are that are like the traditional web, or let's say that are the final result of the web. And build installs like Babel, Webpack, Grunt can also be used to automate a task. Build tasks are there, for example npm and yarn, to manage your build processes. Whereas you can't ignore the design part when we are talking about the presentation layer. So different sort of design tools are there in the market. I think this image is a bit older one, so yeah, there is a Figma too. So you got the point, right? Storybook. So all these technologies are there for presentation layer development or front end development. But now, since it's a Jamstack, and API is one of the important aspect of it, and there are hundreds or thousands of services that you can use their APIs. So in headless CMS portion, for example, if you take the example of Contentful, then Contentful will give you a certain backend as a service. It's like your data will be in the Contentful databases, and you will be able to use those databases on your front end code. So this headless CMS provide a certain API. There are multiple other, for example, Sanity, Cosmic.js, Strappy. Lot of them are there to help you to just, and also there is a free tier, so you can use it properly. Also utility APIs are there, as we have talked about, discuss yesterday. But there are also the multiple like Twilio, Typeform. Depending upon your functionality, you can use. You do not have to use make by yourself all these things. Like for example, you might need certain aspect of one service, and you might not need certain aspect of another service. So you can just do your all sort of customization there. Git is it's basically where your code stands, where your markup files rests, and one of the important part of Jamstack, where Git will host your code. Git will help to do all sort of, you can use all sort of features from Git, and you can leverage you can connect all these services together. And hosting and CDN are also provided by multiple services in Jamstack. You can obviously Amazon and Google's Firebase are always like they are being used for all sort of operation. But GitHub pages, you might also heard about GitHub pages website, so that's also a part of hosting and CDN from GitHub. And Netlify, we have already talked about it. So so it's just a simple Jamstack means just front end technology which is integrated with your build installs, build and static site generators are there in order to do some sort of pre-processing, so that your code will be like run very in a faster manner on the particular hosting and CDN providers. So and headless CMS part comes here because it's a API layer where you can leverage all sort of APIs from all these services. And Git providers are there to help you store your markup, to perform actions based upon your code merges, and to set up the CI/CD pipelines too. So in this way, the current Jamstack ecosystem has been developed or has been being used in the market. And based upon your needs, based upon your desires, you can set up all sort of things using Jamstack. And you can look into the examples, or we can talk about examples in the days to come too. So this is how Jamstack works. And yeah, thank you for watching.